All right, I guess we don't have any callers tonight, and I guess maybe because we had one this morning and we had a good crowd, and perhaps nobody knew. I'm sure nobody knew that we were going to have a live stream. I just decided to have one short one, but I'll give it another minute, so it'll be 15 minutes. If we don't have any question or you don't have enough people, then I'll just call it a night, and we'll wait till next Saturday, and then we'll have a regular live stream. And then, fair enough. It's now about 15 minutes. Now, obviously, there's not enough people available tonight, so perhaps we can call it a night if I don't have any, if I have no use. And Sid is here, says, "Hello, General, male 31, Manchester. Says, just wanted to say hello." Well, thank you very much for saying hello because nobody else is. So we appreciate any hellos. I decided to have a kind of one of a spare the moment thingies. We had a live stream this morning, you know, good enough crowd. We had lots of questions, and but I thought I'll just have another one because there's I didn't have much else I wanted to do, and I thought maybe I can be of some help to somebody. And Sid says, male 34. Oh, yeah, you kind of lost 3 years in that sentence. No clue why I wrote 31. You're probably going out with a girl that is 31-year-old, and that messed you up, yeah? So, how's everything, Sid? Hope you're doing good. Are you still staying in Manchester? Not relocated to another university? Sid says, life is doing great thanks to you. I'm wondering if I'm getting crazy that everything is going well. Well, don't worry. Cherish it as long as it's going well. And when it didn't, remember that when it doesn't go well, it doesn't mean it's final. Just like for a while it wasn't going well and you were going nuts, but then suddenly you're telling me that things are going well, which means always remember when things are not going well, things will always change. Just because it's not going well at the time that you're focusing on it, that doesn't mean it won't go well a little later on either. So always have that line of hope and always understand that you don't know what the future holds. So if it's not going well, don't panic, don't fret, just say, okay, cool. Things are in the motion, but I'm not feeling it as the moment it is. But I'm sure there are ships in the ocean. I just can't see it because they're not in my field of vision and they're far enough. So I will have to continue steady as she goes until the ships are in my field of vision and they're close enough for me to see. Then I can see that there were things in motion for me. I just weren't close enough to see it and feel it. So that would be your way of not fretting when things are not exactly as they should be, and don't lose hope or don't come up with conclusions that, oh, that's how it's going to be forever, because you can see just right now and how it was just a few months ago. So still here for now. No woman. Have a dog in life. Oh, cool. What kind of dog? Takes precedence over woman at the moment. Well, they're very faithful dogs. What kind of dog do you have? When it doesn't go well, the motto is remember the name Meron. Okay, thank you for that. You can refer back to this a little bit. If there would be enough questions, I would put it on and upload it. Otherwise, I might just delete it because it's about 18 minutes. We are only three people and one question. So maybe we'll have a friendly chat here and I'll just won't upload it because there's nothing really to upload. I talked about 15 minutes of it before first before you showed up and said hello. She said, it's not my dog, belongs to a friend, but I'm kind of co-parenting it. It's a mongrel mixed breed rescue dog. Mongrel. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, I see. I see. I see. I see. Okay. They supposedly are friendly, but just make sure you feed them right things and make sure there's certain things, about maybe 10, 12 things you shouldn't give them, like avocados, like, so much sugar, like garlic, like onion. They should be away from all. These are all toxic for them. And chocolates, no chocolates, no avocados, no onion, no um, garlic. What else? No citrus stuff. No citrus. Um, there is a list. Just ask for the list of things that are not good for dogs or hazardous to dogs, and you probably will have a list of it. Google will send it to you, and everything else. As you probably know, make sure that they'll have their shots on time, rabies specifically. How old is the dog? Says I can send pictures later. Absolutely love her. Yeah, they are lovable. Yeah, I can see the pictures here already. Is half of the face kind of a black and the other one white, or is it just a regular face? There are different kinds I can see in here. 4 year old. Oh, so 4 year old. Hopefully that he hasn't been abused in the past, so it doesn't have a you know kind of traumatic behavior due to the past behavior or treatment. Hmm. Just study, make sure the things that she shouldn't have or she shouldn't chew on. But 4 year old is a mature dog. No abuse history. That's good. And all the shots are done, and all the anti-tick and anti-worm pills given, dewormed, and all that. I'm sure. But is there a history? Is there a certificate that their medical history and all that? They can follow up with your vet and make sure she's taken good care of. Says my friend had her when she was 3 or 4 months old, but it seems like both my friend and the dog have taken a liking to me. Okay, all right, cool. So is it a package? A girlfriend and a dog, or is just a friend and a dog? Sid says yes, she was adopted from a charity, so everything is well documented. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a kind of a package. All right, good. So if ever the relationship, if there would be a relationship, and if the relationship breaks up, it's a, two for one shot. One relationship breaks up, but two heartbreak. The dog, you're gonna miss the dog and the girl. But nevertheless, it's very. Dogs are amazing. Dogs are amazing. Uh, it's so amazing relationship. Yeah. My son has two dogs and recently has this new one, and he's so cute and so protective. And we love him. We love him so much. And I miss them. I miss them. They're like my children. Says, although I'm not interested in dating her, don't mind chilling. Ah, well, Okay, fair enough. Chill. But don't let the dog make your decision. Make up your mind because you may not be interested in her for her own purpose or your own needs or desires or expectations or standards or expectations, whatever it is. I said that. But you guys may both find loving the dog a harmonizing chapter or harmonizing topic. It might make you guys feel that you guys are bonding when you're both bonding to the dog and you love each other or like each other because you both love the dog. That would become the commonality and compatibility, so to speak. But that is not really how the relationship should. You should fall into a relationship in that way. You like the dog, you gotta like the dog because you like the dog, not because you like the girlfriend and then she has a dog, so you tolerate the dog. And the other way around, vice versa, is also true. If you want the girl, you like the girl, you should like the girl without the dog, not because you like the dog and therefore you like the owner of the dog, the girl. You kind of feel like, oh, well, she's all right. And then you get used to it, and before you know it, you actually think you're in a relationship, but you don't have that, what it needs a relationship to be and continue to be a relationship. And Sid says, how are you, good sir? How are you, good sir? Okay. If is everything going well? It's rather emotional these days. My mom is in care center, and finally, these idiots have lifted off the mandatory vaccination documentation necessary to visit inside the care center. Until now, I would always see my mom outside the building. Sometimes it's cold. So the lady who helps my mom would bring her out and we would sit down and chat and have an outing together, have a discussion and enjoy. But for the first time yesterday, day before yesterday, was announced that criteria is lifted and anybody can come in and visit their loved ones. So I went in there, and it was kind of sad for me because I always seen my mom, strong woman, beautiful, sportish, strong-willed, and then of course I begin to see her as she is today, almost 90 years old, and not so, as she puts it, I don't follow everything, I forget things, she says. And then, although it's a nice place and it's a great part of town and very safe and clean and organized, the care center, but still, you know, it's a room, it's a bed in a big room. Everything is provided, services, food, and everything, yeah. But, I've never seen my mother there, you know. They had a beautiful house, my mother and my dad. My dad is gone, as you know. And now, with that lifestyle, she's there and she's not so, you know, always remembering things. So it's emotional. Today I was there most of the day with her, and, I was able to help her with, organizing the food and cutting it down in small pieces and making it easier for her. It was beautiful moments together. And we had lots of laughs and chatted. And I watched her have her dinner. And we were outside when she wanted to smoke. So we kept each other company and we talked. It was beautiful in one way, but then it was sad in another way because eventually I had to leave and I'd never seen my mother there. You know, anyhow, anyhow. So then, of course, I quickly after that went to the gym, did 2 half-an-hour session of cardio, and so then I came home, did some work, fixed my dinner, and then I thought maybe I'll just have a chat for whomever needs it. And there we go. My old friend is here. He says, "Oh no, so extremely sorry." Don't be sorry. I mean, I'm just sorry that a strong woman like her is now on wheelchair and have to be, it's just, and being where she is, which is not something I would, expect, or anyhow, it's not like, anyhow, you have to go through all of this. Says my grandmother is 96 years old and she has forgotten us all. She doesn't remember anyone. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Sid. Um, there are people that my mom doesn't remember, but she remembers me. Of course, it was very hard for her a month ago when my brother passed away, and my brother was always visiting her every day because he was vaccinated. He could go in. I would only be able to see them when they would see her when they would want to go to a restaurant. So I would go there, help with the wheelchair to put in the car, and because my brother had his own challenges, health challenges, so would go to restaurant and so on and so forth. So that was very hard for her because she really, 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 really loved him, and so for a month, at least a month, she was really missing him, and it was very difficult for her. But I think maybe this forgetfulness somehow maybe have alleviated the pain a bit. Uh, Sid says, if I can do anything for you, I'm here. Oh, thank you very much, Sid. I appreciate it. No, I'm just sharing with good friends, you being one of them. And now Jay is here. He says, Jay Rohn says, Mehran, thank you so much. I recently found your videos. You have just saved me from myself. Okay. Watching from the UK, spent the whole of yesterday watching through your videos. Well, delighted that you have found the channel. It's unfortunate that my channel, as good a content that it has, and I am unanimous on that. Who says that? Hyacinth in one of the UK old sitcoms. What is it? She's always ranting about being related to the royal family or something, or periwinkles, teacups or whatnot, or what is it? Competing with the Joneses or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, but anyhow, I was the one who always said that. I'm unanimous on that. Anyhow, I'm unanimous on the quality of my channel's videos and the content. As you can see, all the videos are explanatory, like they explain things. They don't just tease you to stop you to buy something or come and make an appointment with me, but they completely try as best as can. Even on the questions that come on the live stream, I explain things as much as possibly space or time allows. But on the videos, is complete explanation, not just a promise or hype to get you guys to go one step further. So on that note, I'm surprised that why my channel doesn't have 1 million subscribers. And I guess it's because it's hardly found. And you here, I'm sure you've been looking for answers and you probably stumbled on my channel rather than come to you as easily as many other channels comes. And I really don't know how to make it known more. And Jay, let me know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from. Well, I can guess that you're a man. And Jay says, if the wheel doesn't turn for me, yeah, you got that one. If the wheel doesn't turn for me, I don't care if it if it turns at all. New mantra. This true, very true. That's actually I learned that from my father. And I learned a lot from him. He's gone now. Jay says, recently found out my ex partner cohabiting is sneaking out to see someone else. Oh, you're still living together? Do you have to still live together? Who has the lease? Is the lease in your name and she's just piggybacking, or you both have the lease? If you have the lease in your name, well, you can friendly wise ask her to make arrangements and in time leave. Otherwise, this becomes a little difficult and torturous. Torturous. Um, and Jay, your last name is Rohn. Do you know Jim Rohn? This is James Rohn, I believe. He was a very good speaker in the old time. He's gone; he's not with us anymore. But was a very good teacher, motivating speaker. I don't know if it's related to you now. He was American, but you're from the UK, so maybe just a similar name, or maybe his backgrounds come from somewhere in your family line. And Jay says, how do you deal with a cohabiting ex-partner who is going out to see someone else? Will there be a video about dealing with this stuff when kids are, oh, you've got kids with her? Hmm. I know I must have spoken about it in some videos, but I didn't label it, title it as cohabitation or problems when cohabiting with the ex. I should have, maybe if I have something, I should have named it that, named the video that. Um, I don't, but I think now that you mentioned, because you see, I don't know the exact situation, so I'm just spitballing here. I'm guessing. If I knew if you guys were married or not married, were just living together, and if these children are yours, I mean, it's together, or it was inherited somewhat, like she had him or you had him, and then you guys joined together for in a relationship. I'm not sure what the scenario is, and obviously the schools are involved close by, and you can't just pack up and go. But that's rather inconsiderate of one partner to having not moved out of the domain that you guys been sharing and now started going out with someone. That's very irresponsible and very in bad taste, in my opinion. There has to be some kind of respect. However, I don't know the particulars, so I can't really make big comments about it or comments in depth. Uh, Perhaps if you liked, you're more than welcome to go on my site, make an appointment, and we'll chat about it together. Mind that seeks truth.com. Mind that seeks truth.com is my site where you can go and make an appointment. And for every new client, the first session, while it's registered for 1 hour, I will give you at least half an hour up to 1 hour extra, at least to have enough time to figure out the whole background, so on, so there would be no rush. Otherwise, I don't have specifics in order to make a valuable comment to you. Now, we are ending up 6 people here, but only 2 of them have guts to ask a question. The others are hiding behind the microphone, the computer, and saying nothing. So the brave ones is Jay and Sid. Well, in response to your question, Jay, the best I can say is that you got to separate the accommodation. It won't work that way. It will not be a pleasant experience for you to see her bringing some other guy in home sleeping, or she going somewhere else and sleeping. It's kind of eventually what? Eventually, she got to move out. One of you got to move out. You can't be just together and just be witnessing who's going out with who and what happens, who comes to pick her up. And it's just, not a healthy way of continuing. So you got to figure that out. And perhaps we can discuss it further later. Okay, Lol says, hi, I'm 22, male. From where? Which country? Which city? So since I remember liking woman since I was very young, however, recently I see a good-looking guy and my heart starts to rapidly beat. In addition, I've lost my attraction to women. Is it normal to feel this way? I get anxious and panic when I start feeling the attraction to the male. Well, you have HOCD, and you need to learn about what HOCD is and how the malfunction of the signaling system of the brain works and attributes to HOCD. And you got to learn how to deal with the intrusive thoughts and the fact that you could see every male that you see as a competitor to you, and makes it, especially if they're better looking than you, or at least you think they are, or you see certain kind of a fitness of the body. The brain doesn't understand anything other than the fact that it associates with the inventory of information that it has. So to the brain, body, muscle, naked, looks, sex, associates with sex. It doesn't matter what gender it is. That's what it does. Associates with sex. And then the intrusive thoughts malfunction the signal system of the brain, and the intrusive thoughts takes over and creates something that is got nothing to do with you. It's irrelevant to you. But because it's happening in your brain, you think it's about you, and it must mean something. Or you come to a conclusion, or you delve into it and try to analyze it and go into different labyrinths and see how far it goes, and all the intrusive thoughts comes in. And naturally, the brain has the power to make the body react to any kind of an anxiety or envy, or any kind of a feeling of competition, or any kind of a association of the brain between words, or between images or body parts associated to sex. And regardless of what sexuality you have, it can turn it into intrusive thoughts and all kind of orientation that is not in line with your values. But because it's happening as part of the thought process in the brain, you think it must have something to do with you, and that freaks you out. And definitely the anxiety is one reason, is because that is not in line with your values. And when it comes in, that is something that you do not invite. That is something that you do not agree with. That is something that you do not find it in line with your values. Therefore, that is what the amygdala is trying to protect you, because it knows that is not your preference, and you are trying to protect yourself from that sort of a possibility. Nowadays that they say, oh, things can change this way, that way, so on. So you kind of conclude that, oh, because that came to my mind, that could mean this. And that itself, which is contrary to your choices and to your preferences, it creates that anxiety, because you say, that's something that I don't want. I want to be away from it. And you don't need to do that kind of a reaction. You simply go say, well, that's a brain. It's not me. Simple. I live with my choices and vetoes, because regardless of what comes to the brain and what brain conjures up, whatever it conjures, thought, images, suggestion that it conjures up, and then the conjuring up of something in the brain has the power to make the body react to that, what it thought of or imagined. And that reaction of the body becomes an evidence to you that I thought it might be correct, which has got nothing to do with anything. Brain has the power to make the body react to whatever thought it does, but that thought and that reaction does not become an evidence or any kind of a reasoning, or that you are of any have any interest to that thought, or have any values that is compatible with those thoughts. But these are the misconceptions for not understanding how brain works and functions and malfunctions, and that's a conclusion you come up with. So by understanding what HOCD is, how it operates, what are the parts of the brain that are involved, the amygdala overacting or trying to overprotect you, and knowing about your values, and therefore its focuses on it, and the brain trying to protect you, overreacts to it, overreaches, and you don't understand how the malfunction takes place, concludes something that is definitely not there. And these are what brings that anxiety, because you don't have enough information. But educate yourself about what OCD and the roots of OCD is, and subsets of OCD, such as HOCD and other types of OCD, responsibility OCD, pedophile OCD, harm OCD, all religiosity OCD. All these OCDs are subsets of OCD. And if you understand how to rewire your brain, how the malfunction of the brain is, and how to rewire your brain from, for example, the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz, which is explained. I have a video on it. Just put in 4 steps, and then it comes out to you explaining the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz. Helps you to how to rewire the brain and bring it to the default setting as it has gone malfunctioning. Then it talks about the role of amygdala. It talks about the role of basal ganglia, midbrain, and the reward finding center, the goal finding center, the habit center, and how they're involved, and the obsession and compulsion, and how they affect all these centers, the malfunction of caudate nucleus, prefrontal cortex, all the components of the brain that are involved in this malfunction. You got to learn that, and then you understand, this is why these sort of thoughts continue, and all I have to do is just basically don't give a shit. They can come and go. And I just have to remember, I'm not the brain. Brain is not me. Therefore, what brain conjures up, it's on it. It doesn't describe or define me. And doesn't matter what kind of a thought shows up in the brain, I am the only power on earth that can make any of these suggestions, images, and thoughts to turn into action in the reality and actuality of life at all, or let it die by the wayside. So it is up to me, not up to the thoughts showing up in the brain. Therefore, I'm now have no choice but do what the brain says. No, you're not the brain. Brain is not you. And all these suggestions that come up cannot by themselves become anything or any actuality or any action whatsoever. You're the only power. Your awareness, your preferences, your values, that is the only power that can allow any of these thoughts have any actuality in the real life. So you're safe regardless of what shows up in your brain. So let them show up and just say, well, okay, thank you very much, but that's not my choice. And that's all. So don't worry about what shows up, how many times it shows up. Does not matter. None of them mean anything to you. They're irrelevant, meaningless to you. It just confuses you and makes you question, because that is something that it's not in line with your values, and you definitely want to be assured of it. And these are things that takes you into a labyrinth that you shouldn't go. Forget the assurances, forget anything. Just remember, you live not by thoughts, images, and suggestions of the brain, because you're not the brain. Brain is not you. You live by your vetoes and choices. That means you have the ultimate power, and nothing can sway you from what it is not in line with your values. Simple as that. And then study what these OCD and HOCDs are, and Dr. Schwartz for a step, watch Dr. Philipson's videos and so on, available on YouTube, Dr. Jan Vayner, there are lots of experts, psychologists, psychotherapists, experts in the field, and you can enlighten you about this whole education, and then you're not freaking out or having anxiety. So, okay, another intrusive thought. So, big deal. Who cares? Every one of us, 8 billion, 8 and so billion of us on earth have intrusive thoughts, all kinds of thoughts, all kind of weird thoughts, come and go at different times in different levels. It's all about malfunction of the brain. And remember, until 40,000 years ago, we didn't have any of these questions. HOCD and intrusive thoughts and OCDs, none of that. Why? Because until 40,000 years ago, we had a stem brain. We had a brain that was not as sophisticated as this, and we could not think or speak. And if you couldn't think or speak, there would be no chance for the brain to suggest anything or bring about any words that could have a meaning
or be able to create a thought that is contrary to your values and create some kind of a confusion or question in your mind. None of that existed. We lived with our instincts like animals. We ran, we hunt, we slept, we ate, we had sex, and no questions about inclination, no question about our sexuality, nothing. We were what we were. That's it. But now that since 40,000 years ago, we have this brain that can think and speak and all that, it can also create all kind of thoughts and images and suggestions that it's got nothing to do with us, but it interferes with our understanding of ourselves, and we want to know, what is this doing here? Nothing. It's just a malfunction of the brain. Like any other organ that malfunctions, brain malfunctions too. But we accept all the other malfunctions of other organs, such as intestines, we get diarrhea and all that, or the kidney may not be being optimum on doing some malfunction, or the liver, or anything else. But when it comes to the brain, we say, oh, brain is perfect. No, brain is stupid. It's not intelligence. Brain is not our intelligence. In all the experiments that Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Leibet, brilliant neurosurgeons and neuroscientists that have done on the brain, they have concluded what Aristotle taught and talked about 1,000 years ago, that there are aspects of mind and you that the brain cannot even reach, because you're not the brain, brain is not you. Now, the modern science, through all these experiments and education and studies and research, have proven that you're not the brain, brain is not you. And they have tried to localize many different aspects and functions that we are capable of doing in the brain, such as localizing the motoring part of the brain, the stimulate part of the brain, and the limb moves, or stimulate another part, something to do with the eyesight, and stimulate another part, maybe a word or a sound is uttered by the patient who's being operated on. But they could never find the compassionate center. They could never find the intellectual center. They could never find math center. They could never find intelligence center. They could never localize any of these, which means brain is not smart. So what it conjures up is not because it knows something. It's just malfunctioning, and it's making thoughts because that is its job, to make thoughts. Not that whatever it makes has any kind of a purpose or meaning or qualities. So all these research have proven and shown through the modern science what Aristotle was talking about in the past 1,000 years ago was very much true. And that was about dualism and materialism. And the materialists were saying that there's nothing but atoms and void. Atoms and void is that there's something or there's nothing. There's nothing more than something. But then there were the dualism that was saying there is something beyond the material. And then now the modern science have proven that there are aspects of mind and you that the brain cannot reach, which means you're not the brain, brain is not you, you're above the brain. You're the one who decide what brain conjures up can become a reality and actuality. You allow it to become an action or not. In other words, you are in charge. You are in total in charge because you run your life by your vetoes and choices, regardless of what the brain conjures up, suggests, or imagines. Having said that, we move on to Jagan J says, how do men with the fight against ego and pride when it comes to an ex with someone else? How do men win the fight? Oh, well, you shouldn't think of it as a fight. You should think of it that whatever she does is on her, not on you. You don't have to fight. She's not taking anything away from you. If anything, she's taking something away from her, because that's not a classy thing to do while she's living with you, dating somebody else, and the children are involved. Well, so, and your pride, as soon as you can. You didn't tell me your age, did you? No. I wouldn't mind to know your age. As soon as you can, make arrangements to live separately from each other. Make arrangements for the kids. The kids come first. They're very important. Make sure they're not witnessing what the mother is going around with, and they're not involved in her choices, and they're not involved with the woman that you might bring home, which I suggest you don't bring women home until the children maybe are spending a day with their mom. Then you go on a date. But don't introduce a woman into your home, because the children, if depending on how old they are, they may get confused. They may feel that they have to now compete with this woman to get the attention of dad or the love of the dad, because now they're already going through the fact that these two are not together, so they feel a little bit possibly insecure. Don't allow it by introducing another partner. And I hope you can discuss that with her as well and get her agreement that, listen, the children come first, and for that purpose, I suggest you don't bring your boyfriends, into your life, because the children don't have to go through this getting to know someone that we don't know who they are, and even if we did, it's just not a good idea. And the children will remember, and that would necessarily not be to their approval when they grow up. So it's her chance to set the record as positively as she can, as far as her relationship with the kids are. And you do the same. When the kids are with you, she can go on a date, and when the kids are with her, you can go on a date. But make sure the children would have that loving atmosphere. Don't fight in front of them, and don't argue. Just create that understanding, certain policies to be set and adhere to, and make sure that the children feel psychologically safe and secure, knowing that there is still a loving atmosphere around them that they're living and growing. Yeah. Uh, okay, Lol. Don't need to analyze it any further, because there is really just a malfunction of the brain. It could be triggered by not having enough social life, not seeing enough people, not creating anxiety. This whole pandemic bullshit created lots of anxiety, which could lead into other kind of intrusive thoughts and worrisome, because all the stress and anxiety could lead into all kinds of repetitive, intrusive images or thoughts and so on. It's got none of them got anything to do with you. It has to do with the malfunction of the brain, which could trigger in a certain situations or certain conditions or certain hazards or certain concerns, certain fears, and all the things that are just about protecting your values. And then the brain reacts in such a way that then it leads to certain kind of intrusive thoughts, that then it brings other questions into your mind which you shouldn't have. This is your intrusive thought. That's all. It's like you fart. You don't examine, I farted. What did I eat? Why did it fart? Well, it does. It's a bodily function. It malfunctions, or it needs to get rid of some kind of a, residue, or, feces, or whatever. You go to the bathroom, or your system is not working well. Some kind of a glitch. It's not that your preference is to have diarrhea or fart all the time. Brain too. Brain goes through situations where it could trigger some stress, some worry about life, not enough money, not being, able to fulfill your plans. The jobs are not there, pandemic, everything is locked down, connections are not there. You feel a little bit anxious. That could affect many different things to different people. One of the one is OCD. And then, of course, the subsets of OCD, HOCD and whatnot, is very common. So you just got to learn what it is, and then to be able to relax about it. Say, okay, that's another glitch of the brain. I have a glitch of this, glitch of that, glitch of kidney, glitch of liver, glitch of intestine, whatever else. That also is another organ. So Jay says 40. Oh, okay. Oh, well, 40. Then, well, you're very young. You're still prime target for younger woman, 26 and up. They're looking for 40-year-olds, between 40 and 50.
one established man, wise man, someone with experience, someone with a career, something that they can actually hang their hat on as far as safety and security is concerned. So you don't have a problem finding, but the fact is you got to create a situation where the children would be feeling comfortable. And first thing to do is you guys stop living together. If this is final, then this is bullshit what she's doing, and she's subjecting the children to something that they need not to be concerned or deal with. Prab Bajawa says, so good to see you. I'm glad that this live stream are still going on. Very happy to see you. Thank you very much. Says, I love my mind glitches. Okay, good. As long as you know that such things can happen easily to everybody, then you won't freak out. All right. So it took us a while to get this going because I didn't have an announcement for this live stream, and just spared a moment. I decided to have a live stream. We have 7 people here, and at least we answered a few questions. And it's 1 hour. I think it's time maybe I can wrap it up because I just wanted to have a short time with you guys and maybe help a few people if they have a question. And I think we did good enough. And now I can go on and make some tea and watch a movie or something and hit the sack. How about that? So this is time I say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. And I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, remember, I have a site. If you need to talk to me one-on-one on Skype, you can go on my site, make an appointment, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Until next time, be good to yourself, and to the others, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.
But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much.